Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Justin. We're back for another underrated movie review. And today we're going to be doing the 1993 John McTiernan directed Last Action Hero starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, I've always enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed this movie because by 1993, Arnold had already established himself as perhaps the most iconic action star of all time. But, he had started transitioning into more either serious comedies or adult, or family-oriented comedies, whether it be Kindergarten Cop, whether it be Twins, whether it be Junior, So he had two different characters he would play. Most of his action roles had unintentionally funny dialogue, a lot of the times because of his accent. So they would limit his dialogue. But the man can act. He was very funny, and Last Action Hero is a nice blend of both the action side of Arnold and the comedic side of Arnold. Now, for anybody who's not familiar with the plot, there's a character, Danny, who loves this particular character played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. That character is Jack Slater, and they have made 3 Jack Slater movies, and the 4th one is coming out soon. And, he lives in New York City. His single mother, struggling, crime everywhere, and he wants to be a part of Jack Slater's world. The Hollywood scene, the beautiful women, the daughter who is a basically perfect 10, all the fun and the excitement of that world. That world, to the people inside of it, is real. And by some magic coincidence, he receives a magical movie ticket, and now while he's watching Jack Slater 4, the newest Jack Slater movie, he is magically whisked off into that world. That world doesn't know who he is, doesn't know the world that he's from. To them, their world is what's real. And to Danny, his world is what's real. This is make-believe. So there's a constant butting of heads because one thing is real to one person, another thing is real to another person. And they make fun of this. There's a particular scene where he asks a girl for her phone number. And it's 555, so forth, so on and so forth. Then he asks for the number of the video store she's working in. 555. So he makes a joke. So there can only be a possibility of 9,999 numbers that start with 555. How many people live in California? 8 or 9 million. Aha! And then without missing a beat, Jack Slater, not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but Jack Slater says, that's why we have area codes. So they're answering these questions to real questions that always come up when you're talking about movies. Why does every movie have a 555 number? And that answers one of those questions. So it's fully aware of itself. It's fully aware that it's a movie taking place in a movie that's pretending to be real life. And when you watch it, it's a lot simpler to understand than, just some guy talking about it. But you've got critics who, just like ramble on. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Were you watching the same thing? And, as is the case, like with the underrated movie reviews, I have a couple of reviews I've written down. I'm going to share with you. Again, no names, but it's just baffling to me. What the hell are these people watching? Because again, the movie to me is very easy to understand when you're watching it. So I can understand it being a little complicated when I'm explaining it to you. Watch the movie. So, a couple of quotes. It turned out to be a beef, chicken, anchovy, and jam sandwich. The ingredients cancel each other out and become indigestible. By offering us everything, they've given us next to nothing. That is one of the dumbest comparisons I've ever heard in my life. You're putting this stuff together that makes no sense, has nothing to do with anything about the movie, and then like, oh, well, we'll just compare this to a movie. That's just ridiculous. And honestly, when I was reading it for the first time, I felt dumber. Because the person who came up with this is just beyond help at this point. Like, anybody who follows this person, you probably deserve each other. It's not a hard movie to figure out, and the elements of it work. Slater not realizing that he's a big famous movie star is funny. And like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is Jack Slater, is aware of the fact that throughout his career, he's just been known as the guy who kills a bunch of people. And in this one, they joke, oh, we in the third movie, we killed 400 people. In this one, we only killed 137. Or some crazy number like that. So it's aware of how ridiculously over the top he can be. And how he tried to, polish his image, so to speak, as his career went on. And then quickly, the second review, really would work if it really let audiences in what it was trying to accomplish. Just incoherent nonsense. When an audience member watches it, you can figure it out pretty easily for yourself. So, just incoherent gibberish by this critic. And it's a shame. This movie is enjoyable. It's not great. It's not even one of my favorite Schwarzenegger movies. But it's better than what these two had to say and what a lot of people have had to say. I think it's worth its 7.2. So I'm confident that John McTiernan, who directed Die Hard, who directed Predator, who directed The Hunt for Red October, made a quality action comedy movie that doesn't get the credit it deserves. So 1993's Last Action Hero, 7.2. That's my review. And, I'm sticking with it. Until next time, I'll see you guys at the movies. Take care.